In this design tutorial, I'm going to teach you guys how to do this very simple majestic music logo. So, hi guys and welcome back to a new Photoshop design tutorial. My name is Manny, and in this tutorial I'm going to teach you guys how to do this very simple majestic music brand over here. First of all, we're going to work on the background, then as well just on these simple two text types here. And yeah, I'm going to show you guys how to do this whole piece of design. Now as well, this is not really a massive project. This is mainly focusing just how to create the background. I guess you guys know already how to do the text, but today we're going to concentrate just a bit on the background. Okay, so as you guys can see already here on the right hand side, I've got my two layers switched on here for this canvas size. Everything is done. I'm going to start right on top of this canvas, and we're not going to open a new canvas. But for all the newbies, you basically go to File, New over here, and then you can simply add in all your dimensions here. So I'm going to use, again, under my presets, 1920 by 1080 pixels for width and height and 300 resolution. This is due to my screen recorder, so you have to choose accordingly whatever you need. Also, I'm going to hit OK once I'm done, and then I'll be brought here to a screen that just looks like this. So maybe you've got white or black in the background. We basically going to start now. Yeah, let's just start like that. I'm going to talk you guys through it. So I basically went online and just scouted here for a picture that looked like a jungle. So you can choose also whatever you want. Maybe you want a city or you want a sunset, whatever you want. Have a look for that. I went with a jungle. That looks pretty cool. And I also went here into the direction that Majestic Music, also they have got a pretty big channel on YouTube, awesome music, and I've actually had an inspiration here from their YouTube channel, so took exactly that idea also with the jungle. Okay, so let's turn everything off. That is basically the first image that I've imported into Photoshop, so just drag it on top of to that canvas, maybe press Command T, which basically puts you into the transform mode. Again, Command T, as you guys can see, this is a bit bigger. Try to put the center focus here also into the center of my canvas. As well, I'm working with a Mac. If you are working with Windows, please press Control T so you get also into the transform mode. Okay, I'm going to escape this because I've already adjusted this. Now for the next step, what I basically did is I just adjusted the color a little bit, then as well a bit of a vignetting and also a bit of a black and white or just a black layer on top to make it a bit more music. So let's actually do that. I'm going to just drag everything to the top so we can start fresh again. So that's basically your start, right? Okay, so for the next step, I'm going to go to Adjustments, and in Adjustments, we're going to go to Hue and Saturation Adjustment Layer. So let's take this down a bit so we have a little bit of space here. Or let's go to the History panel. I'm going to make a bit of space here. Great, so my first adjustments that I want to do now on that adjustment layer here is basically just take the saturation all the way down. Okay, so taking that all the way down, then as well I might just push here my highlights a little bit, depends on how dark the image is, so like a +4. Okay, and that's pretty cool already, all that I need to do. Then for the next step, go back to adjustments. Okay, before we actually go and create this adjustment layer, I still want to obviously create a bit of a vignetting effect. So we obviously have just the text in the center standing out. So what I'm going to do is go to the tool panel on the left side and hit right click here under the marking tool, and I'm going to select the Elliptical marking tool. Then as well, I'm going to make a huge selection here in the center of my canvas. I'm not holding shift on the keyboard, so it's not equally expanding. It's just making a weird oval shape. And this is around the shape that I want. Maybe it's a little bit too small. So I'm going to just repeat this step. First of all, I'm going to press Command D, get out of the selection. Windows user, please use Control. Okay, I'm going to hold again the circle here and yeah, create a bigger circle like this. I'm going to press M on the marking tool. So basically get still in the same tool. I'm just moving the selection into the center point. And now we have a selection. So if we're going to feather something now, or basically create an adjustment layer, it will have a hard edge. So we need to feather the edge first. So what I'm going to do is go to Select, I'm going to go to Modify and Feather down here. Select Feather and also Feather Radius, something between 180 to 250. So let's maybe go with, yeah, let's try 200 for the start. I'm going to hit OK. You guys also saw how that shrank now. So that basically means it is feathered right now. Great. So while we're still in the selection option here, I'm basically going to go now to the adjustment layers and just select here a curves, no, basically a levels adjustment layer. Select that. and we already have here, as you guys can see, a mask on the adjustment layer, so we can now tweak the mask. So obviously this mask is now white in the inside and dark on the outside, and we wanted exactly the opposite for a vignetting effect. We wanted to have the white in the center and the dark on the outside. So it looks a little bit different here on the mask. So what we need to do is just re-invert that. So with that, I'm going to press Command E, and that will invert that complete step. So as you guys can see now, everything that we're going to affect is on the center or on the outside, and everything that's not visible is on the inside. Okay, let's go back here to the top, and we're just going to work a little bit with our sliders. So first of all, what I want to do is just take the white sliders and bring them all the way down. So again, I'm going to bring them a little bit more. Yep, and remember, we're still going to do a black layer later, so I'm going to try to put it somewhere over here. We can always go back and readjust things here. I'm also going to take the midpoint sliders, just the grays here, and just flatten those a little bit, so the darks don't look that aggressive, so like a lot of contrast. Okay, flatten that a bit. The highlights might be still a bit too heavy, but let's give that a go in a second. Okay, last step still, I'm going to go back and create a new layer on top here. We're going to right click here and select the rectangular marking tool. We're going to select the whole canvas, hit right click, fill this up, and again under contents area with black. Okay, Command D, get out of the selection. Windows users, please use Control again. And now we're going to take just the opacity from this layer all the way down until we think we are happy. So somewhere around 70% maybe. That looks kind of cool. Okay, let's have a look here. Before and after. It might be still a bit too strong, so a little bit more down. Okay, and you can always go back here again to our new adjustment layer or the old one with the levels, and we can still tweak this if we want it a little bit more darker with the highlights here, a little bit flatter as well with the darks, or a little bit more contrast, whatever you want, even if you want it completely contrasty. Okay, something like that. Yep. And what I'm still going to do now is just check here the saturation, and I'm going to go and take the lightness here down a little bit again. I don't really like the heavy punch in here. Okay, lastly as well, if you want, you can also take this layer again, your jungle layer, basically just your normal image layer, and you can also blur that a little bit if it's too strong. So basically go to filter, and we're going to go to blur, Gaussian blur. And you can also give this a very slight blur over here, like maybe a 1 or 2 pixels. 1 pixel, that's fine. Okay, I'm going to select everything again. And we can now right away also with Shift on the keyboard, so hold Shift, select the old layers, press Command G and put it together in a group and rename that to background, or I'm going to do that. You guys can obviously rename it to whatever you want. So that's again the first start. And then for the second start, I'm going to just do a text layer on top. So basically, let's select the text tool over here. I'm going to do a big text over here, a text box, and we're going to write majestic. And I'm going to start with capital letter, majestic music. Okay, as you guys can see, I've already selected the right font. I'm going to select all and maybe make it just a little bit bigger. As well, the font here is called Sensations de Cerise. You guys can also find that again in the description down below or under font.com. I'll put the links in for you guys. Okay, so I'm going to select that font. Again, the text size here, let's make that a bit bigger. Majestic. And yeah, tracking, let's have a look. Character box, and character box is open. The tracking here is 0, that's perfect. As well, if you guys don't have character box, please go to Windows, select character box over here. Okay, I'm happy with that, accept it. Now again, what I'm going to do to skip a step, I'm just going to duplicate this layer, and we're going to do that with Command J. Super easy. Just take the move tool and move that down. Great. Text tool again with T on the keyboard. I'm going to select it, and we're going to write here music as well, capital letters. There we go. Still the same size. Yes, I'm happy with that. I'm going to accept it. Tracking the same. Everything is the same. Now I'm just going to take the music word and move it somewhere closer. Also moving again with my cursors here. Somewhere around here. Okay. So next step that I still want to do is go to View, New Guide, and quickly create a guide so we can find the middle here somewhere. So horizontal and as well 50%. Super quick. Okay. We're going to take majestic and music, hold shift again on the keyboard. I'm going to press Command T to transform both of these, and remember these are again smart objects in a way, so rasterized layers, so the quality will still stay the same. Now what I'm going to do is hold Shift on the keyboard, take the anchor point here on the side and literally just make that a bit bigger like so. Accept it, and as you guys can also see, the quality still stays pretty good. You guys can also, if you want, select again the font obviously and make the font size a bit bigger. I'm just cheating here quickly, trying to do it a bit quicker. Okay, selecting both of those, press again Command T, and I'm just going to go over here to the side until we get to the rotating arrow, and I'm just going to rotate that a bit. Something like that. Great. Accept it. Move tool. I'm going to move it somewhere into the center here. Great. You guys can also create again another line here, a guideline if you want. And lastly, I'm going to go back again to the text tool and just make a big selection over here. And maybe for this channel or whatever, this whole brand, we're going to put a website instead of a slogan. So what I'm going to do is write here again www, all in capital letters this time, so we've got pretty much the same size for the font, so it looks all nice and straight. And I'm going to write here again majestic music. Let's just write that correct. So I'm just making this up as we go, majesticmusic.com, maybe something like that. Maybe it's a completely different website, I'm not sure. Anyways, I'm going to select all of it and go back to our fonts here, and for this we're going to choose again Helvetica Neure, as you guys can see over here. So again, you can find that in the description down below or on thefont.com. Okay, I'm going to select it, and first of all I want to change a few things. First of all, I'm going to change the size here, maybe just to like a 10 or 13. Whoops, that was wrong. So I'm going to press Command Z actually. I'm just going to go back in the history channel here. Nope, that's not going to work, so I need to type that again, sorry. Okay, so what I'm going to do again, select all of it with Command A, and as well make the size a bit smaller here, somewhere around 10 as I said earlier, so that is super small. Let's go for maybe 13. Okay, and one thing that's really irritating, it's still italic, so it's still leaning. I don't want that. Let's maybe just choose something else. I'm going to go with light. Okay, and the tracking. I want to up the tracking way more. So I'm going to select all of it again and go back to the tracking area. I'm going to push it up even further. Yep, still a bit more. Something around 1200. Yeah, it looks a bit big, but I'm going to accept it for the start. Take the move tool, move it somewhere over here. Also in the center, and I need to correct this quickly here as well. I did a mistake. Majestic music, there we go. Now it's all correct. Again, I'm going to accept it. Also I'm going to go to view, clear the guide, and again you guys can see this is a little bit too close, so again just take the move tool and with the cursors just a bit down, a little bit to the left, trying to put it just into equal space so it looks a bit more balanced. Again, if you want to, you can also take the majestic and music here obviously and make that a bit bigger, or even the majestic music a little bit smaller. But yeah, that's pretty much how I developed this, or how I designed this whole logo. Pretty simple, quick and easy as well. And if you guys want to, you can obviously always go back to your background layer here and take the black layer and just up that a little bit more, just to let the text stand out a little bit more, or you can play a little bit more again with the vignetting effect here. Yeah, so that's basically all about this quick tutorial. I hope you guys learned something from this. Share it with all your buddies that are new to this channel, and yeah, don't forget to hit the like button if you like this tutorial. Thanks for subscribing, and I hope to see you guys all in the next tutorial. Thanks guys, see you next time. Bye bye.